Howdy folks, and welcome back to Train Valley! It's Paul Magalev here, and we're on the 7.3 patch, which now has colorblind mode, along with some other awesome features, which I'll get into in a moment. But first off, I'd like to clarify that I did try to do some footage of this earlier, the other day, but unfortunately, all of the sound was completely gone. All the game sounds were totally gone. I couldn't hear any of this music when I was looking back at the old recordings. What else was there? And I thought that it was really disappointing because I wanted everybody to be able to hear the new sound effects they added for all the trains and stuff. It was really nice, and they added more music. They brought in some old music that was in a previous patch. But anyway, I just thought that it would be imperative that I go through all the levels again because, sure, why not? Besides, I still have to get all the objectives for all the levels anyway, so... looks like I'm just gonna have to play this patch all over again, in a sense. Oh, and for some reason, this used to be the stamp for the sandbox mode. And now for some reason, this is the stamp for the sandbox mode. I'm not entirely sure what they're planning to do with this, but anyway. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's get started with this little level over here. Oh great, I hate tutorials. Oh boy. Oh, well yeah, well that's one of the first sound effects. The Era 1 trains, which look like these little green locomotives here, they now have a new departing sound effect, which is just this little clanging bell. And there's a lot of other sounds that are available for you to hear. I'll just have to show you them one at a time. Like that! Yes, they added a new braking sound effect, so you can hear the screeching of the wheels against the rails, which is also really nice. One of the patch things that didn't get fixed, though, was the time accelerator. For some reason, if I try to change this slider a little too late into the game, I try to do that and it will freeze. It will totally freeze. I can try to slide it over, but it won't slide back, basically, and that's a problem from a previous glitch that I think is imperative to address. I can still add more advanced trains by inducing demand, but I am not at the moment able to do that by pressing the button number 4 like I was able to in Railway Valley, which is a bit disappointing, to be quite honest, but that's okay. Let's see, I want the tracks to go like this. There we go. Everything is as it should be. And I forgot to activate colorblind mode, so it's a lot easier for everybody to see this. But suffice it to say, colorblind mode just changes all these icons and symbols for different cities, and changes them into letters that correspond with the locomotives, in the events that you have A, color blindness between red and blue, or color blindness between green and red, which I think are the most common types. Or the even rarer variety of color blindness where everything is fairly monochromatic, or just black and white. So they have everything put into consideration, and your color blindness is now taken into consideration, which is good. Now, one of the few things I tried to talk about previously Hopefully this goes the right direction. Yes, it goes in the right direction. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the fact that I've got this really nice doctor who's going to retire in September, and I thought I was going to see him for the last time on Thursday. Oh, and this is the new train whistle sound effect for this era's form of locomotive prototype, the American 440. Anyway, where was I? I was busy trying to clarify that I wanted to express my gratification for all the time I've spent with my doctor over the last 10 years or so. Actually 12 years to be exact. And how I appreciate all that he's actually done for me in making me a better person. Because I really couldn't have done it without him. Especially considering many of the diagnoses that I have were actually recognized by him, as a matter of fact. And he was able to give me treatment, which is very helpful. But times have changed, and we all grow older, so he's in a state or a position that requires retirement at this point, so everyone deserves a rest, I suppose. It's only fair. Why can't I add another advanced train? Well, that's strange. Oh, right, because the timeline is over, as indicated by this blue bar. Let's see. Yay, I met all of my requirements. And I got another stamp! Yay! Let's go to the next level. Anyway, I guess I got a little bit too emotional in the previous rendition of this when I tried to record, but I feel at this point that I don't have to get as emotional about it, because as it turns out, he wants to talk to me a little bit more before September, so we can actually decide on who will actually be the doctor that will take his place. I mean, I never thought I'd have to see that day anytime soon, but I guess it just had to happen at some point. It was an inevitability, to be honest. Some other things I wanted to talk about were some recent events that had taken place in my life. I talked about how my grandmother's house was actually getting painted, so some people could rent it out. And we've gotten a lot of that done, my family and I, in our own sort of strange way, I guess you can say. Something tells me I'm gonna go bankrupt if I do this. And then I didn't. So we've got most of the painting taken care of, which is very helpful. However, there's still some rooms to paint with the heavy-duty spray gun. Actually, no, I think we're going to use a roller for the extra tiny rooms that are left over. The main rooms and the ceiling are getting painted as we speak, actually. And I really wish that it was all said and done by this point, but unfortunately, this has been a very slow and arduous process. Oh, oops. Gotta remember how to switch these tracks correctly. Move this forward a little bit. Turn this one around, and we should be good. Wait a minute, there's another train. There it is. Stop this one. There we go. What else was there that I wanted to talk about? Other than the fact that it was kind of getting grueling and mind-numbing to take care of all the housework required to get the house painted. Because, I don't know, I've spent so much time on it that it's kind of just gotten a little tiresome. And I'm getting a little impatient. I thought we would have been done by this point. And it would definitely be nice if we were done at this point, but I guess that would be asking too much. I just had to add extra trains. It just so happens to be at stations where other trains are actually entering. I hate when that happens. That should do it. This looks a little precarious, and we made it. And I've met all my objectives of spending 80 grand, delivering 5 or more advanced trains, and the other thing, not getting any trains into the wrong station. I liked some of the train whistles they've added, which is really awesome. I call these locomotives the Era 3 locomotives because they're the third to come along chronologically in any map, unless the era of the map actually starts a bit later, in which case you start with a completely different train, of course. Anyways, my little adventure here in this wonderful land of, I don't know where this is, Train Valley. I wish I could add more trains on demand. However, I am actually restricted to the number of trains I can actually unleash at one time to avoid overloading the system and network of tracks, that is. See, I'll just take this train in first. Now, I wish I was able to zoom in on this map. That would be nice. Oh, wait, stop! Let's back you up. I almost sent you to the wrong station. Was there anything else important I wanted to mention? I seem to be at a loss for the moment. I guess that's the level, and by the way, they added a new infinite mode. I'm not entirely sure what that experience is like, but basically it just lets the level go on continuously until you go bankrupt, I guess. So I think I can squeeze in one more level before we can wrap up this episode. Let's see, I'll follow the dirt pathways. That should do it. Now, I've been trying to think of some extra things that would be nice to add to Train Valley in future patches. I'm not entirely sure, but adding more prototypes of trains would be nice. That would be for sure. Something else they changed in this patch, whenever a train collides with another train, only the epicenter of the crash experiences track damage. The rest of the tracks somehow stay together. It used to be that when a train crashed into another train, all of the tracks would be destroyed that the train was on top of. I really feel like I shouldn't have left this train to sit in the station so long. And I'll release it now. Okay. That should avoid any sort of conflict. I find it strange all the trains that leave the station are of a value that's much less than the trains that come from this place. I don't know what gives. Is it because of the greater distance between the two places? Does that substantially increase the cost and worth of each train? I think it does. I'm surprised I didn't notice that earlier. I feel like I want a complete circuit running around this giant moat. And I'm sure I can... Oh. Yes, I will have to do that right now. Let's see. I'll build it like this. Like this. Avoid damaging any cultural heritage objects. See, that'll do it. Wait a minute, I'm sending these trains in the wrong direction. That should take care of everything. Now, one of the objectives, let's see. One of them is to destroy objects for $20,000 worth of expenses or more. Now, I could theoretically destroy Stonehenge here, which for some reason is here for some reason. But I won't do that because each component is... well, they changed the worth of each segment now. It used to be that each little square was worth 20,000 each. But now it shows the grand total, which is 100,000. else is there that I could think of talking about? I think I've got one last thing shipping in the mail of all the stuff that I intend to buy that's technically considered useless crap. And then I have to stop spending money on useless crap. But I think the waits and anticipation can almost kill you, I guess, waiting for something in a box to come over across the continent or whatever. I kind of had that sense of anticipation with all the computer parts for this new computer I've got that I'm recording this on. However, getting all the components for that was much more excruciating. And putting it together was no easy task, I will tell you that now. Ah, yes, now I remember one of the things I wanted added to this game. I wanted to have the addition of unique cars for each type of era, if you can call these eras, based on the years that are projected in these maps. Because the trains get progressively stronger, and the length of the string of cars extends to greater lengths, hence the need for more powerful locomotives that can travel faster. And I just thought some heavier duty cars for each era would be nice. Oh, looks like I failed to destroy anything equivalent to $20,000 in cash or more. Anyway, that's no big deal. So I'll get back to you guys in the next episode, and I hope that everything in your life turns out fantastically, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember to take it easy. Have a nice day.